Hey guys, Mars Thinking here, bringing you another Dragon Ball Z Dokkan battle video. And so, like an absolute genius, I managed to record this video with my microphone muted. So I've had to cover up the webcam slot since it's not going to match up with the commentary, and record it afterwards. So basically, I tweeted out earlier that I'm obviously still trying to summon for the LR Super Saiyan 4s. Because the Fusion team has pretty much been the only runnable team that I've had on JP. It's what I've been using to try and do the red zone stages. But earlier, after doing another couple of multis, I finally pulled my first copy of the Tech Goten that awakens into Gohan and Goten, who are, of course, the GT Heroes 40% support unit. Now, those of you that came out to the stream the other morning where I tried out the Omega and Gogeta EZA, obviously the weakness for that is Shadow Dragon Saga, which I could not make a team of. I had to resort to using GT Heroes and obviously having a couple of units who were not actually on the team. Or at least not on the category, right? But I couldn't actually make a full team of 6 GT Heroes units with units that were actually good. The 6th unit, I had to bring the STR GT Super Saiyan Trunks, unawakened, by the way, like level 80 SA1. So he was there on the team, and now that we've pulled these guys, I can actually make a full team of 6 units that are actually good. So of course, we are running an LR Super Saiyan 4 Goku and Vegeta friend. They are Rainbow, so of course they have the GT Heroes as one of their leader skills, and then the 30% extra to Kamehameha. So we are running a bunch of units on this team that will fit under that full leader skill bonus. All the Gokus, obviously the Gogeta, and I believe the Tech Gobros. They must be on Kamehameha, right? They do the Kamehameha as part of their super attack animation. So that means that the team is getting a pretty significant buff. We have over 600k HP right from the start. So I wanted to go into this. I had recorded an intro just to show you guys, but obviously that had no sound either. But this is actually my first clear of the GT Goku event. So up until this point, I hadn't been able to beat it. Now, I hadn't tried it since I'd, EZA'd all the fusions and got on the EZA for Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, all that kind of stuff. Like the team that I've been trying out on those red zone missions, like the one that came out earlier today. That team, I think, probably would have been able to beat it if we'd had the good RNG and whatnot. But I wanted to try out this team now that we could actually make a proper full GT Heroes team. So that's also because on JP there is now a mission for the GT Goku event to actually beat the stage using a GT Heroes team. So all the more reason to actually go ahead and use the GT Heroes team. So my GT Goku, I did go through in the little intro that I recorded that I just mentioned that got scrapped. I did go through the units and all of their percentages and whatnot. So the GT physical Goku is 69%, he's got 1 dupe, and the GT Vegeta is only 55%. Then I have the LR Super Saiyan 4 Goku has 2 dupes, and LR Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta is Rainbow. And then we have the Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, obviously with his EZA, the Tech one, at 79%. And then, as I said, the GT Gobros are freshly pulled, so they are 55%. So, obviously, this team is nothing crazy. And I was saying, while we were going through this and I was doing the original commentary, I've been really enjoying, trying out some of these events on the JP account, because obviously my account over there is nowhere near as good as it is on Global. And not only am I sort of struggling to actually put together a full team that is even good, there's also the fact that, of course, none of the units are, super leveled, whereas on Global, when this mission drops as part of the anniversary, I'm going to be able to run a full Rainbow, full level 10 Lynx team. And so this run is obviously going to be much, much easier. Plus, of course, the fact that I'm going to be going into the global anniversary because it is my main account and I'm still basically free to play on JP. I'm going to be going into the anniversary on global with a lot of stones. So unless I get mega shafted like I did during the 6-year anniversary, I will have the GT Super Saiyan 4s of my own. So obviously they're going to be on the team. Having, one of them on both rotations, you probably going to make pretty short work of this event, because this was honestly the biggest problem that we were facing with this run, is the fact that we obviously have the LR Super Saiyan 4s on one rotation, but then on the other rotation we don't have like a super crazy powerful unit. So I took the risk of putting Vegeta in slot 1, because again he's only 55%, so you saw he took like 50 odd K from a normal attack. And then Goku, pretty impressive, over 5 million attack stat considering he is only 1 dupe. And of course none of these units are particularly link leveled. Some of them have been on a few runs of like Dokkan events and stuff, so they have links at like, you know, 3, 4, some of them at 5. But like the physical Goku and Vegeta, I think they're mostly at like link level 1 and 2. The Go Bros are freshly pulled to their full link level 1. So obviously this team is very subpar compared to what it could be. But the LRs do a lot of the heavy lifting. The LR Super Saiyan 4 is obviously ridiculously powerful. The Tech Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta Easy A is incredibly powerful as well. What with that 70% chance to counter supers. Obviously the goal here is to not transform the LR Super Saiyan 4s too early, because of course they do infinitely stack their attack and defense, so we just want to keep them stacking as long as possible. We've got them on rotation with the Super Saiyan 4 Goku, because they obviously share a ton of links, and Goku is getting that 200% leader skill buff from the friend LR as well. So I decide not to risk using an item here, because obviously the LR Super Saiyan 4s have ridiculously high defense. Goku dodges the first super attack, but he does not dodge the additional 12 key. These guys putting out pretty crazy numbers already. And then they get another additional 12 key, so 6.1 million. So they have put out a ridiculous amount of attack power in this one turn. No crits though, sadly, but we did a ton of damage to the Super Saiyan 3 Goku. And then 4.2 million for LR Super Saiyan 4 Goku. Again, he's like not link leveled at all. He's only 2 dupes. So pretty decent for him. He gets the crit and the additional into the 12 key. So very, very good turn for him. And we are able to finish off the Super Saiyan 3 Goku here. So now we're moving into the Ozaru phase, which is of course the one of the trickier ones. This is where I try not to use an item before getting to this stage if possible. So this is where it's going to get interesting, because the Gogeta in slot 1 it's not the ideal place for him, but I'm kind of hoping that we can put him in slot 1 here and counter a super, because I don't want to float him off rotation again. And Vegeta's obviously not great in slot 1, especially if we are going to take a super attack. So this is a perfect opportunity to use a Princess Snake, and then we just grab as many orbs as we can. And then Gogeta still takes 15 to 20k from these normal attacks, which is still quite a lot when you think we have a defensive item active. But of course Gogeta, once he gets a couple of stacks built up of his passive and everything, he can be a little bit better in slot 1, but he is obviously a unit that is better defensively in slot 2 or 3. I was just kind of banking on, like, if there was a super in slot 1, then obviously Tech Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta is the safest unit to put in slot 1 there, because the worst case scenario is that the Goku, who I put in the middle because there's only one attack there, is that one attack be the super, and then even with a Princess Snake active, we would have taken a considerable amount of damage. Obviously Goku is at least getting the full 200% leader skill buff as well, so he would have been hopefully fine. But yeah, here the LRs, the LR Super Saiyan 4s are sat at like 500 odd K defense. So at this point, I'm kind of I'm contemplating whether to use an item here or not, because their defense is very high. So as far as I can tell, we should survive a super attack if they get supered here in slot 1, just because their defense is so high. And we've got the support from the Go Bros, which is obviously helping to boost that defense. So I decide to take the risk of getting supered. We do not get supered. Almost a 10 million attack stat from these guys. So obviously in these longer events, as cool as it is to get Gogeta out and see him busting out all of his crazy animations and whatnot, just keeping these guys untransformed and letting them build up, especially when you can get 20 key and get the guaranteed additional super attack and get at least 2 stacks per turn. We get another triple super attack turn as well, although unfortunately here we are suffering from type disadvantage, and we have another unfortunate scenario where we're not getting crits. So with the type disadvantage, it means we're not really doing too much damage. But LR Super Saiyan 4 Goku here is able to come in and deal some decent damage himself. And then the Go Bros in the final slot here. Obviously, once they get off a super or two, they raise their defense pretty significantly. So they are actually able to tank very well. And when we get turns like this where we double super, then their defense is definitely going to be good enough. So, I mean, I don't know how much damage they would take if they took a super here in the last slot with no item active. But obviously, we are looking pretty good up to this point. So, obviously, the hope here is that we can finish off the Ozaru this turn. The only unfortunate thing, you can see here, I'm trying out the different possibilities. We cannot get 4 key for Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta to super attack. So I could take the risk of putting somebody else in slot 1. But especially against an STR type, Goku's definitely not going to be good in slot 1. Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta is not very good defensively unless you get his 18 key super. So I decide we just have to, you know, take the risk, put Gogeta in slot 1, and then we're going to end up getting the Dokkan attack with LR Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta. But putting Gogeta in slot 1 definitely was the right choice because we get the super attack counter. Sadly, no crit, so it doesn't do a crazy amount of damage. But, I mean, almost 1 million damage for free, extra, you know. I'll take that, I guess. And then his normal attack, of course, does, like, no damage. And then Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta is able to come in with the Dokkan attack. A little bit unfortunate timing for the Dokkan attack, because obviously we are very close to killing the Ozaru. I'm pretty sure that if we hadn't gotten the Dokkan attack this turn, even just the super attack from Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta and then the follow-up attack from the GT Goku should hopefully have been enough to actually finish off the fight. But either way, we get the Dokkan attack, we get the KO, we move on to the Int Goku. This is, of course, a perfect rotation to be going in on with the Super Saiyan 4s because we have type advantage. Now, unfortunately, because of Vegeta's creating rainbow orbs, the LR Super Saiyan 4s get a ton of extra ki from normal type orbs. So in a situation like this, where unfortunately we can't help but pick up loads of rainbow orbs, they're actually not getting as much bonus ki as they potentially would have been able to if we were on a turn where we did not have the rainbow orb changer. So I decided to go ahead and transform the LRs here because obviously there are a ton of attacks in slot 1. So I'm hoping maybe we can get a super attack counter. I very much enjoy the animations for the LR Super Saiyan 4s. I think they're my favourite in the game. Like, obviously the gods have really great animations as well, but I think the Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta animations are my favourite. Like his 18 key and the active skill are just so good. They are definitely my favourites. I'm really looking forward to seeing how they play out in the global dub version as well. So go ahead and use Goku's active skill. I want to use it here against the Int Goku because if we save it for the last phase against the Tech full power Super Saiyan 4 Goku and then he doesn't crit, then obviously he's basically not going to do any damage. So, you know, we do 1 million. That's not bad. It's like half a health bar. So it's like half a health bar out of this guy's like 10. So, you know, he has like 20 million HP basically. But we get a nice little bit of free damage. I go ahead and use a Whis here because, you know, we've already used an item. So we might as well keep ourselves protected. And sadly, no super attack counter from Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta. But obviously with his ridiculously high defense, type advantage and the item, we just take double digit damage. And then he comes out of the gate here with an almost 10 million attack stat. Gets a crit for 7.6 million. And then even his additional normal attack crits for like 3.5 mil. So this is one of those rotations. Like for this turn against the Int Goku, if you get one of those crazy RNG turns for Gogeta where he triple supers, he will literally just finish this man off all by himself, which is pretty crazy. Like the two new LRs obviously are pretty wild. So obviously we are perfectly safe here because we have the Whis item active. We have 2 tech units on this rotation. So I was a little bit concerned about how this was going to play out. Obviously I want to save Vegeta's active skill for the final phase, because he does not have type disadvantage, so it's worth saving it for then. I believe when we do eventually use it, that unfortunately doesn't actually do that much damage. But Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta putting out a 5 million attack stat here, very nice. Sadly he doesn't crit, but still 2 million damage, it's pretty good. And then Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta gets dodged, which is very unfortunate, because the the Gobros at the end here, especially at 55%, not really known as a crazy damage dealing unit. So yeah, you can see here they hit the super attack, we don't crit, we barely scratch his health bar, and then of course the normal attack additional literally does nothing. And then we take the super here, but look at that, 180k. I mean, that is a lot, I guess, but I mean, we got 600k HP, so it's less than a third of our overall health, and that is with a unit that has type disadvantage, and they'd only gotten off one super attack. So obviously the new leader skill buffs definitely make a huge impact on the performance of some of these units, and the fact that they're able to do that at 55%, like level 1 links, is obviously very, very good. So obviously full on overkill, Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta able to come in and finish him off. I didn't want to waste Gogeta's active skill because, you know, I mean, Goku was just going to die to his super attack anyway. So definitely seemed like a waste if we were going to use Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta's active skill there. We totally want to save it for being able to finish off the full power Super Saiyan 4 Goku. So here I decide that best case scenario is to float off Gogeta, because look at all those attacks in the back. We could potentially get... Well, we can't counter supers, of course, now, because we can't dodge. But we'll go ahead and use the final shine attack. No crit, which is disappointing, considering we are Rainbow LR Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta. So, not really an impressive amount of damage, but it is what it is, unfortunately. And we can get full 24 key super for him. We can get a super for Gogeta as well. So we go ahead, activate the other Whis. I don't really want to take any chances here, because as long as we survive this turn, then obviously next turn there is the full possibility that the LR Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta just absolutely pops off and just kills this man outright. So he super attacks Vegeta, then he dodges Vegeta's super attack back, which is a little bit unfortunate. Because that basically means we are pretty much guaranteed to not get him low enough to be eligible for Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta's active skill on the next turn. Vegeta trying though, putting in the effort, getting the additional super attack. Does a nice crit as well for a little bit of extra damage. And then we are looking all good here at the end of the turn. So obviously Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta 4.3, not obviously his best rotation, being linked up with the LR Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta, but still a solid enough performance from him. No crit, again, sadly, but he's just able to tank for double digits, and then we can move into the next turn. So, LR Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta linked up with Goku, so we've got a bunch of links active, including stuff like Legendary Power, Kamehameha. We get the full 24 key super attack, and we have the support from the GT Gobros in the end here as well. So we also do still have the Whis active, so we are absolutely cooking here. Gogeta's defense ridiculously high, so go ahead and grab these tech orbs so we can just get a little bit of HP back. And then obviously Gogeta just takes double digit damage from these attacks, and then his attack stat here with support, 11, basically 11.5 million attack stat. That is pretty good for our boy here. And we get a crit as well for good measure. Then look at that, the additional super was 8.1 million, but unfortunately he dodged. And then even the additional normal attack without critting still did a pretty reasonable amount of damage. So I have to assume that if that additional 12 key had actually connected, we probably would have finished him off this turn, because that would have done an insane amount of damage. But of course, with the dodges, LR Super Saiyan 4 Goku, you know, type disadvantage, so he's not doing crazy damage here, unfortunately. But the GT Gobros still able to hold up really well. We do have an item active, but they're holding their own well defensively here. And then we are now basically just setting up for the last turn. So Obviously, we're going to put Vegeta in slot 1, where we've got the type advantage. We'll go ahead and use Goku's active skill as well. You don't get to see this all that often. Unfortunately, though, of course, the GT Super Saiyans, their active skill doesn't really ever do a lot of damage. But, you know, a little bit of chip damage, take away a bit of extra, a bit more of his health. And then I figure I might as well go ahead and use the last item here just in case. Because, like, GT Goku getting super attacked, Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta obviously can't counter a super anymore because of the dodge being disabled. So I was a little bit concerned. I didn't want to get all the way to this last point and then die from a super, because like I say, the whole goal of this was not only are we completing the GT Heroes mission, but this is my first run of the GT Goku event that I've been able to beat, because I did try it out, you know, before, like I say, with a weaker team and was unable to do it. I really didn't want to get right to this endpoint here and then fail. So I knew at this point that Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta wasn't going to hit hard enough to finish off Goku. So then that leaves us in the perfect position where we can now just go into the next turn. Active skill with Gogeta. And yeah, we still take almost 250k damage from the super on LR Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta with a Princess Snake active. So that's quite a lot of damage, but we are going to be all good here. I was checking the links. I was thinking about picking up the orbs for Goku, because it can activate like legendary power and stuff on Gogeta, maybe do some more damage. But then, of course, I realized his health is so low that it just really doesn't matter. But yeah, I think for me, this is the best animation in the game right now. Like just that part with the two of them like separate, and then it like, you know, combining into the Gogeta, and like the zoom in on his face. And then yeah, not only do we crit, we do 10 million damage. And there's the KO. So there you go. That is my first successful run of the GT Goku event, as well as completing the new mission to JP for beating it with a GT Heroes team. So yeah, I think since the Red Zone, the last attempt from the earlier video today, if you haven't seen that, you should check that out. But yeah, the Fusions team may be starting to fall apart a little bit in that event. So maybe GT Heroes is going to be the way to go. So Cooler, you better get ready for the rematch, because I'm coming at you with the GT Heroes team. So there you go. We completed a couple of missions, and that is the GT Goku event finally beaten. So let me know what you guys think down below in the comment section. Have you done any of the new missions on JP? If you're on Global, let me know if you guys are ready for these missions. And yeah, I'm still having a lot of fun working on this JP account. So that is going to be it for the video, guys. This has been the Masked Ningen. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel if you are new. Check out the links down below for the Discord and the merch store, and I will see you all again soon. Have a good one.